on! What are you waiting for? I am yours, man. We're gonna wreak glorious carnage throughout the land.
Carnage, eh? I like the sound of that. You promised us carnage. Deliver it. What's wrong?
Kasady is gone. There is only carnage!
Alright, so since majority of you guys have seen Venom, I want to talk about the mid-post-credit scene in the film. So if you have not seen the movie yet, please come back after you've seen the movie and, you know, we can talk about what we saw at the end of the movie. Now, you have Eddie Brock, right, who's going to this prison. I think it's called St. Quentin. It's where they hold, you know, a numerous amount of fucking crazy-ass serial killers. So he gets there. He has an appointment to meet with somebody. And when you see that red curly hair, that terrible looking wig on Woody Harrelson's character, that is Cletus Kasady. Now, if you don't know who Cletus Kasady is, he is Carnage in the comic books and the animated series. He's one of Spider-Man's notorious, craziest villains. So I kind of already expected to see a Carnage cameo in this film. I just didn't know we weren't going to get it until the post-credit scene. So when they had Woody Harrelson turn around to that crazy looking wig and him interacting with Eddie Brock, I was like, I am so fucking down for this to be the sequel. I would love to see this shit. I mean, Woody Harrelson is one of my all-time favorite actors. I mean, ever since White Man Can't Jump, and he's worked with his director before in Zombieland, and they're actually going to be filming Zombieland 2 soon. So they've had history together. And when they announced that, you know, Woody Harrelson was going to be taking on the role as Carnage, I was like, absolutely, why not? I mean, he would be great. And, you know, when they had that post-credit scene, when he turned around, he was just creepy, like carving blood onto the bench or whatnot. I was like, oh yes, oh yes. I was like, if you're going to go this route, you might need to make the sequel rated R. You might just need to. I mean, and I would be down for that. I mean, I was down for Venom to be rated R. But I feel like if you're gonna, you know, if you really want to show the depth of this character, you kind of need, you know, to show everything that he's done in the past before he's become Carnage. And I would want to see that. As a fan, I would love to see that on the big screen. But I just want to give you guys a little backstory of his character. I'm gonna whip out my Spider-Man Ultimate Guide that I got like in fucking 6th grade. As you guys can see, it's beat up. This is old. I know. I'm sorry. Let's check this out. Cletus Kasady was a notorious serial killer even before he became Carnage. His first victim was his father, and even claims to have murdered his mother too. Jesus. Cletus was raised as an orphan for the boys in Brooklyn. A small and shy child, Cletus was often terrorized by the older residents. He was transferred to another establishment when a fire burned down the ground, killing many of his classmates, as well as the home's dean of discipline. As Cletus grew older, an alarming number of his acquaintances seemed to die under mysterious circumstances. A girl who laughed at him when he asked her on a date was pushed in front of a bus, and an alcoholic foster father was found beaten to death in a neighborhood alley. By the time he reached his early 20s, Cletus Kasady had been convicted of 11 murders, but bragged on dozens more. Jesus Christ. Now, they can't fully go the comic book route if you're going to talk about the sequel, right? Because in the comic book or whatnot, you know, Eddie Brock was in prison. So Eddie Brock already had, you know, the symbiote, right? But then it came off him. So he was in prison with Cletus, the same cell. They shared the same cell, right? And the symbiote got to Brock, broke him out, but then a piece of the symbiote was still left in the same prison that they shared, and it got onto him, creating Carnage. That's what we known from, you know, the animated series and the comic books, but with the whole, you know, not having Spider-Man in this and them doing their own route and stuff like that, they obviously have to make up, you know, other natures for obvious reasons. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do that. I'm very curious, as you guys can see. It's pretty fucking awesome. whole page on him and his weapons and shit like that. But I just find it so curious to see, you know, how they're gonna play this out, you know what I mean, for the sequel. Like, how is it gonna happen? I'm curious. I want to know, because I can't wait. I cannot wait for this sequel for Venom, because like I said, I enjoyed Venom. I did. Yeah, I thought the plot was kind of and you know, the co-stars and supporting actors didn't really have much to do, kind of. But when things started to pick up, it started to get good for me. And I love that dynamic duel between Eddie and Venom. They played off each other very well. Tom Hardy did a phenomenal job with that, a really good job, you know. And I'm excited to see the future of this franchise, especially going into the sequel for this next movie. I mean, if Woody Harrelson is completely committed to the character, you know what I mean, and they can show that he like actually is killing some people and stuff like that, damn, I'm excited to see what's to come. And also at Comic-Con this past weekend, you know, Eddie Brock, when he in that mid post-credit scene, he went to go visit him, right? He had a notebook where apparently at Comic-Con they had his notebook there. I'm gonna read you guys some things on the notebook, if I can fucking read it, that Eddie Brock was writing down when he went to go visit Cletus. So, killed his grandmother by pushing her down a flight of stairs. Went on a huge massacre in New York City. Okay. Dug up his mother's grave after the massacre. Holy shit. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. He has an insane mind and a lust for destruction. As a child, he grew up in an orphanage after becoming an orphan. What the fuck? I can't read that. Did Cletus set the fire? Oh. So, okay, they kind of are going the comic book route with this. They kind of are. You can see by his notes and what he must have talked to, you know, Cletus about. You know, they kind of, because I mentioned that, you know, in the comic that I just read you guys. Let me see. Damn, I can't even read this shit. Sorry, you guys. What, pushed a girl who would not go out with him. Yeah, okay. So they're definitely going more of the comic book route of Cletus's backstory, and we know how he grew up, what he was doing, what caused him to do all this crazy ass shit that made him this monster. I'm excited, you guys. I can't wait to see the sequel. You know, hopefully, you know, they can take the time with the script, you know, start filming as late as maybe next October. You know, take your time with this. Give your characters more backstory. Give your characters more depth. Take care of your plot. Take care of your script first. The actors and acting will come, you know? So I really want them to focus on the script, especially if this is going to be the first live adaptation of Carnage. This is huge. You know, you want your fans to be very happy with this version of the character. So I'm excited. Push your comments down below, you guys. Let me know what you guys think about Cletus Kasady, Carnage. Did you enjoy the Venom movie? Are you excited for the sequel? Post your comments down below, you guys, and thank you for taking time out of your day to our Zero Productions. Peace.